morning. I swear a lot.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Canto 3 tier list and, I guess, subsequent extraction pull and mirror dungeon. I am using facecam for this. No, I won't be using facecam for all the videos because I understand that it visually detracts from what's going on screen, but for something like this where the visuals are a little less important, I thought why not? Also, it's Valentine's, which has nothing to do with anything, but we need to do the Canto 3 tier list. I'm a little uncertain about this one. On, please. I'm a little uncertain about doing this one because I fear things have not changed that much, but I've not put tons of thought into it prior to now. I'm going to kind of do it all right now. So let's get into that, shall we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Canto 3 tier list. So I've got the Canto 2 tier list up on my other monitor. I'm going to edit it into the video so you guys can see it too, so you can directly compare. And there's probably going to be quite a few cuts because I'm going to sit here and try and actually think about these a little bit because I'm just not sure how much these are actually going to change. I mean, Canto 3 was very good. I'm not accusing Canto 3 of not featuring the characters and having interesting moments and stuff like that, but no one did anything where I'm like, oh, this person's ranking needs to change. Like, everyone feels like they're roughly the same as where they are, but I'm going to go over them one by one and we'll see if there are any changes, right? Plus, I can still talk about what the characters actually did in the Canto. There is stuff to discuss. We'll start with Dante. Dante stays in S because, look, Dante's great. Like, this is not news and it has not changed. Everyone knows that Dante is great. The interesting thing about Dante, and the thing I'm looking forward to seeing, is that Dante appears to be trying to become a bit more of a competent manager. Like, they're actually attempting to, I don't know, do more than just be the group healer, the group reser. They're actually trying to, like, now provide advice and direct people. I think, yeah, there was a moment where Ishmael and Otis were arguing about whether or not to pursue the fleeing Inquisitors, and Dante stepped in and was like, nope, we're retreating. Like, they made a definitive decision, and a tactical decision, with tactical reasoning behind it and everything. They made a decision as the manager. And in the situation with Sinclair, they started to really counsel and coach Sinclair throughout the Canto because they could see that Sinclair was struggling a little bit and they sort of tried to encourage him a bit, which that is definitely something I'm looking forward to in Dante. I don't think Dante is going to become super competent because that's not really their character. Like, they're kind of goofy. They are a very goofy character, but I like the idea of being able to perhaps see them become a little more competent, a little more together, a little more in charge, and have the sinners almost maybe respect them a little bit more, if not completely overtly. There'll still be plenty of jokes and disparaging remarks made at Dante's detriment, but we might see them become a little more competent, and I like that. I want to see Dante grow as much as I want to see the sinners grow as well. Speaking of the sinners, Gregor remains in S because I love Gregor so much, but aside from his hilarious attempt to persuade the Inquisitors that we were in fact a bunch of tourists, he weren't up to lot in this Canto. Now, this has been the case, like, throughout all the Cantos, where a couple sinners just kind of haven't done much, and I think that comes from having 12 of the fuckers running around, right? Like, not everyone can get screen time. And this was a Canto in which Gregor took a step back, which I think is fine, because Gregor was pretty front and center in Canto 1 and 2, and I think we could do with room to have the other characters shine a little bit. I'm struggling, right? Because most of what I remember is basically the journey to Cal. Is it Calv? It's actually pronounced Calf, not Calwa, like I've been saying. Whatever, the village. I'm mostly remembering from the village onwards, and I'm struggling to remember the specifics of back when they were at the checkpoint. For instance, the only specific I can remember back then was Don kicking everything off. So I don't think Gregor had much going on back then. I think it was pretty tame, but I don't see it as a bad thing that even though Gregor is one of my favorite characters, that he was given a bit of a back role, a little less front and center for this Canto, because like I said, we need other sinners need to shine as well. We can't have it all just be Gregor, Otis, Don, and Rhodia, and Heathcliff. Like, those kind of the 6 most dominant personalities in terms of presentation in the Canto so far, and it can't just stay that way. But having said that, you know, I'm not sure if it's changed that much in this Canto, but this might be a sign of things changing. Otis remains in S tier, but much like Gregor, she wasn't up to much this time around. I still love her, but she definitely took a back foot as well. She had a couple lines, but nothing major, nothing extreme, nothing incredible. Pretty mid for this Canto, but like I said, I appreciate having the amount of focus on each sinner wax and wane with the different Cantos. I think that's necessary. Dawn was a lot more significant in this Canto, did a big moment and all that, but I am going to keep Dawn in A. And as much as I love Dawn, as much as I adore Don Quixote, I'm not confident she will ever go above A tier. Unless her Canto, and I don't know when that is, I don't know if it's already out. I know the order of Cantos is available, like which sinners are in which Canto. That information is available, but I just don't have it in mind. Right, I can't remember it right now. I think it's... I have to check my notes. I think it's Yi Sang next, but I'm not sure. I think that's what someone said. Yeah, unless Don Quixote's already had a Canto out. If not, we're gonna have to wait for when it does come out. Unless her Canto is insanely insightful and really emotional and really interesting, I don't think Dawn will ever jump above A. And I would say she's a mid to low A. Don't get me wrong, she's still like one of my favorite sinners and I love her, but looking at her objectively, like really objectively, there's just not enough about her at the moment to put her above that. Her personality is fantastic. She's adorable. She's hilarious. She's a great fighter. She's one of my best sinners in terms of IDs and stuff. But an S tier character? No. I can't in good faith, in good conscience, put her at that level. Not with Gregor and Otis, not with everything they've done over these two Cantos. I just can't do it. So she remains in A and probably will stay in A for most of the foreseeable future. This is going to get a bit dull because, these are going to be virtually the same, but Ryoshu is in C. She's fine. She's great. She's cool. She just doesn't do much. I don't know, she just doesn't do much. She's just kind of there. She's one of those sinners who at the moment is kind of there. She has a few quips, a few remarks, and then she fades back again. Sinclair was also that, and except for the fact that Canto 3 was his Canto. And for most of it, he actually, or for I'd say the first 33% of it, he wasn't really present. It is kind of, I'd say, a problem with Cantos 1 through 3. I don't know how 4 does, I don't know how Hell's Chicken does, I don't know. But 1 through 3, some of the sinners do just kind of fade into the background. Mersol is kind of supposed to, because he just doesn't speak unless spoken to. Everyone else, a lot of these other characters, they're a little bit in the background at the moment. And I hope that changes. I want to see more of Ryoshu, but she just doesn't do much at the moment. She's one of my favorite sinners to use on the battlefield. Red Eyes Open is fucking rad. Let's not get it twisted. And her LCCB ID is also really good. Unlocking Oof kind of did everything for that ID. Made it so much cooler. And the Uptie cutscene for it was also really good. But in terms of the Cantos, she ain't doing much. The most she did was swear at those gang members in Canto 2 and cut down the chalice or chandelier in Canto 2. And other than that, she ain't done much. She also cut off Heathcliff and Ishmael's head. Fine, cool, but not much more than that. And we're mostly rating these characters, honestly, on lines they deliver rather than actions they take, because they're all kind of psychopaths in their own way. Or maybe not psychopaths, perhaps, but they are all killers. Them killing someone is not that big a deal. They do it all the time. So I can't really bump someone up on the tier list based on that, especially a kill that meant nothing. A double kill that meant nothing because they came back 2 seconds later. I'm gonna have to keep her there for now. Rogia remains in A, but she was alright in this. I liked her relationship with Sinclair, because she's definitely taken on a big sister role with Sinclair. You know, she's one of the few sinners who actually listens to him and notices when he gets upset. Gregor's the other one, but Rogia is much more attentive to Sinclair, like when he gets upset, when he's scared, when he's worried. She was right there each time, like, are you okay? Are you alright? You know, she was always there. Big sister role she's doing, and I greatly appreciate that. I think it's a very cool thing for her character to do. Big points to her for that. I like it very much. And, you know, once again, she's quippy, she's smarmy, she's quirky. She throws out little lines. She's good. I like her. Rogia is absolutely solid. And I gotta be honest, when I first saw her, when they were doing the introductions, in my mind, I was like, this is probably one of the most forgettable sinners I can see right now. Next to Gregor, funnily enough, because other than the bug arm, he is just a dude. So I looked at him and was like, I looked at him and I looked at her and I thought, those two don't seem like that I'm going to be particularly interested in either of them. And lo and behold, they're S and A tier sinners. funny how things work. But Rodeo is very well written and she delivers her lines fantastically. I like her a lot. Oh god, this is going to be roughly the same. Ishmael is in C tier, but she is going up because she's contributing more to the story now and she's having more interactions with the sinners. She's talking a lot more. She's providing a lot of insight. She throws a couple quips here and there and she takes a piss out of Otis for being a bootlicker, which is pretty funny. She still hasn't done anything to get her to B tier, though. And it's worth pointing out that these tiers are kind of based on my personal opinions as well. I personally haven't seen anything out of her that makes me think, yeah, B tier. Yeah, I want to see more Ishmael on screen. I'm like, she's fine. I'd be happy if she proved herself more worthy of top billing, as it were, of being in more cutscenes, but I need her to actually do it. Rather than look at the title screen and listen to everyone talking about how much they love Ishmael and being like, okay, well everyone else loves her, so I guess I should as well. I haven't seen anything to make me like her yet. Not really like her. I like everyone, but not like Rhodia, Gregor, Don, Otis. These have all had great moments which really elevated them above the other sinners, and Ishmael just hasn't had that. Maybe she will soon. I hope so. I'm going to start renaming D tier Faust tier because it is. Can I? Hang on. Oh my god, I can. Hang on. That's a dick move. Look, let me be clear, okay? Let me be absolutely clear. Faust is not a bad character. And I don't dislike Faust, okay? Never let that be what you consider the reality to be. She's not bad, and I don't dislike her at all. I like her, in fact, and she had some decent moments here. There was a little bit of intrigue later on where Sinclair basically called her out on why the sinners were chosen for these roles, and she was like, I can't fucking talk about it, and I'm not gonna. And, there's a bit of mystery there, and I appreciate that in her character, I do. But she's still quite boring. She's still quite boring, and she still lacks a personality. And all she really does is fill in information, which a lot of the time, if you're paying attention, you've kind of already figured out for yourself. It's a little awkward. Someone on the server put it quite well. Like a one-sentence description for the problem with Faust, and it's Faust knows too much. And that's kind of true. She's too smart. So she becomes kind of boring. I am so hoping that will change. I am her the one who grips is fascinating. To see that aspect of her personality is brilliant. Like the more zealous and driven side of her. I want to see more of that, not necessarily as her like standard personality, because the contrast is what makes that so interesting. But I want to see that start to slip out a little bit. I want to see a little bit of fervor, a little bit of energy in her, because I'm just getting nothing. Getting nothing out of her, man. And it's not the same as Mersol. Mersol's stoicism and strong, silent type demeanor is not only cool, but also played a bit for laughs. Because he is so pedantic and so... You didn't tell me to say anything, so I didn't say anything. Like... There is something about Mersol where it works well for him, but it does not work well for Faust. Her voice actress does a perfectly good job, but is not being allowed to do anything with it, She's just constantly soft-spoken and speaking in a very emotionless, dead tone, and that might be the point. That might be what they're going for. And in that case, that might mean that they're setting up something along the lines of what I've just described, where we know Faust to be so emotionless, and then something happens and she flips or goes frantic or becomes driven or fervorous or whatever, and then that becomes a really interesting contrast. But we haven't seen that yet, and we can't say 100%, or I can't, because I haven't done Hell's Chicken, Canto, whatever. I haven't done the rest of the fucking game yet. I don't know for certain that that's where they're going with this. If that's what they do, I'll bump her up and Faust tier will cease to be Faust tier. I promise. But till then, she's just too boring. She's just too dull. It's interesting that she is aggressively boring, because she makes her way into most conversations. but adds nothing of any real value to the overall enjoyment and engagement of the cutscene, other than a lot of the time information. And I don't see why you couldn't have another character provide information and have Faust comment on it, other than just, oh, well, I already knew that. Yes, Faust, we know you knew that. Your one personality trait is that you know everything, by your own words. Give her the opportunity to flex her personality in different ways. Preferences, like personal preferences, quirks, things she doesn't like pet peeves and stuff like that. There was I have to say, the end of Canto 3 image, those credits stills, which basically look like Renaissance paintings. They're so funny. I loved hers where she was sat very prim with a fucking napkin after she'd eaten her kebab. And I was like, that's fun. That's a personality thing. That's something. It's like all we've gotten though. There's nothing else there. I want her to be better. I want her to be the Faust that her fans see. That's what I want, and then I will be happy, because I like using Faust in combat. Her as the one who grips is fantastic, but I can't keep repeating myself on this. Let's move on. So, Mersault, I'm going to say C tier. I think he's finally made the move to C tier. The information about his history with N-Corp was actually very interesting, because the natural assumption is that him being a member of N-Corp means that he was like a fucking metal hammer or something, like he was an Inquisitor. But it's been brought to my attention, it's been made more apparent that the entirety of N-Corp is not just Nagel and Tama. It is apparently a branch of N-Corp, and N-Corp itself is actually a company that does, company things and business and such. But it's still interesting to hear that he did work for them, and he doesn't seem entirely willing to talk about it. Now, that could be chalked down to his personal quirk of it doesn't seem important to tell you, so I'm not going to. How does this help us achieve the objective? Whatever. It could come down to his pedanticness, or it could come down to a genuine unwillingness to talk about it. It's kind of what makes his character interesting, is that there is a layer of mystery to him, and a little bit of a sense of you don't know where you stand with him, really. Because he displays no emotion. He gives nothing away, but he does it in a way that is interesting. He gives nothing away. His whole, you try and engage him in friendly conversation, like some weather we're having, and he's like, yes, the weather is occurring. That's the end of the conversation. That's it, there's nothing more. And it feels bad to praise that while I admonish Faust for it, but there's just something about the way that Mersault is done that's just a little more interesting. I don't know. I feel bad about Faust, I really do, but Mersault just does it better. I'm really hoping that by the end of Canto 4 I can basically get rid of Faust here. I'll be happy with that. But I don't have much more to say about Mersault, to be honest. I just quite like him. But he's a low C. He's not remarkable at the moment. He's not doing much. Yi Sang remains in C tier because he did fuck all this Canto. Really, truly did fuck all. He has not moved even slightly. In fact, he might be a slightly weaker C as a result because he just didn't do anything. He really didn't do anything. He did very little, if nothing. He did say some lines, not many. Not really worthy of note, sadly. Sinclair. You remain in B tier, Sinclair, but you're a strong B tier now because this Canto really actually gave us some information about him, like a lot of information about him, and seeing him go fucking angry and start murdering Inquisitors was quite cool. Here, I could have done without the high school dating sim that was the hour before we fought Chroma. Seriously, during editing, I looked at it and he talks for like an hour about his experiences before Chroma murdered his family, and it is all very important backstory. There's a lot of important details there, but he spends a lot of that time just going, and I couldn't have possibly imagined what would have happened next, and the thing I saw I would never forget. And I'm like, Sinclair, mate, just spit it out, man. Fucking hell. He spends so long talking about what he's going to talk about rather than talking about what he should be talking about, which we want to know. Could have done with an editor perhaps to just snip some of that away, just a little bit of the chaff, just clear it out. You don't need it, don't need all of it. But it's still a very good Canto, and I like him very much. I sympathize for him, I really do. He's had a rough one, he's had a rough life. But him soloing Chroma was pretty hype. I loved it. And I can't tell you how frustrated people were when they were like, back in the day, Chroma was like an actual genuine challenge, and you just soloed him with Sinclair, and I'm like, modern IDs are really good, I don't know what to tell you. I also apparently got quite lucky, so I had to get lucky somewhere. I'm not getting very lucky on my extractions recently. I did to begin with, but Not recently. Although getting the one who shall grip was pretty lucky, admittedly. But yeah, Sinclair, B tier. Hong Le, you remain in B tier because I like you, but once again, you didn't do a lot this Canto. He had, he posed the question of like, are you the clock as a joke? And then he was like, well, I'd like you regardless, which was very nice. And then he tactfully lied to Sod, which I thought was surprisingly tactful of him. I didn't think Hong Le was capable of that level of like emotional understanding. He always seemed pretty oblivious. So I appreciate that. It showed a level of emotional intelligence to him, which I appreciate. And also he's a golden retriever of a man. He's delightful. I love me some Hong Le, absolutely. But I don't have a lot to say about him. Heathcliff, my boy, congratulations. You've been promoted to A tier because Heathcliff is great. Heathcliff is great. He gets a lot of screen time, and he does a lot with his screen time, even when he's just shouting and swearing. But his argument with Mersault was really good. His interactions with Faceplate were brilliant. Also, Faceplate is brilliant. That's such a good fucking insult. I love it so much. It's so funny. I don't know why, but it is. Heathcliff, like, to begin with, I was pretty cold toward Heathcliff. I liked him initially, but then he brained Sinclair, and I was like, I don't know about this guy. He's just angry and violent. I'm not sure I like him. But as time has gone on, he's shown depths and complexity to his angry violentness and some intelligence as well, and actually having a decent sense of humor, and he managed to get one over on Ishmael, which was genuinely hilarious. And many of Heathcliff's lines are just great, and whenever he turns up on screen, you're like, oh, this is going to be a good one because Heathcliff's here. And even when he's not doing like a big funny or shouty or angry line or whatever, you're still like, oh cool, Heathcliff's on screen. If Heathcliff is not on screen, everyone should be asking themselves, where is Heathcliff? Why isn't Heathcliff on screen? So that's it. So yeah, that's the tier list, ladies and gentlemen. It is pretty fucking similar to last time. I think the most notable, actually the only changes are Mersault moving into C, a low C, I should really re-emphasize, and Heathcliff moving up to A, and D tier being renamed to Faust tier, which I think is going to upset a few people, but it is pretty funny. Come on, learn to laugh at yourselves. It's pretty funny. Come on. Anyway, that is the tier list. Let me know what you think. I'm sure people will be slightly disappointed at the lack of mobility. Honestly, I kind of am too. I wish I could have moved these guys around a little bit more, but there just wasn't a lot to work with this tier. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering in a major way, but I just don't feel like anyone did anything overly standoutish. Like, the success of Canto 3 was A group effort. Everyone kind of pitched in, and B, mostly down to Sinclair and N-Corp. That is what made Canto 3 interesting. Not any of these guys specifically other than Sinclair, obviously, because it's his fucking Canto. But none of these characters individually made it, you know? Everyone just kind of worked together. I should actually quickly mention, because it occurs to me I didn't talk about them because they're kind of required to remain in the same position because they don't come on, like, the actual expeditions with the rest of the team. Charon obviously remains in A tier. The stuff with her song and stuff was actually quite interesting, and I'm almost kind of glad I don't know the context behind it, because I would have needed to have read, is it Leviathan that's expanded upon? The point is, I'm almost glad I don't know, because it makes her a bit more mysterious, and that's kind of what I like about Charon, other than her being funny, is that she's mysterious. She's a very mysterious character, and that kind of adds to her humor as well, so I kind of like knowing less about her. I think it makes her more interesting. As for Virgilius, well, obviously I personally don't like that he beat up my Don, but I have to admit it was a pretty strong character moment, and it was very interesting, and it was fucking scary. Like, the overall event is actually points in his favor, because fucking hell, that was a whole thing. But yeah, no, Virgilius stays where he is, but I like Virgilius. I do. I've said it multiple times, but I'll keep saying it just to make sure we all know. I do like Virgilius. I think he's very interesting, and he's fucking scary. He's a scary boy. He's so scary. And him buying kebabs at the end was fun. And someone pointed out that, isn't it funny that Virgilius bought food that is skewered on sticks after the crew went to a town where everyone was skewered on sticks? And I'm like, He has a sense of humor, we know it to be true. But we are done now, truly, with the tier list. We move on to extractions. Now, people must be thinking to themselves, Foreman, you've got to get the Pequod Captain Ishmael. You have to. And I'm like, guys, it's targeted Gregor extraction time and it expires not soon. Not that soon, but it's going to expire at the same time. And I need Gregor. I need my Gregor. I need it. I've only got one identity with Gregor other than the base one, and that's Luger. Point is, I need more. I need more Greg. I want to bring him onto the battlefield more often because I like him. I actually need more Otis identities as well, actually, come to think of it. Now, people have mentioned, you know, I said before, like, oh, you know, I click one after the other to raise hype, and people are like, that's stupid, don't do that. And I was like, oh. So anyway, we've got Gregor, my boy, a good sign, I'm sure. It's almost as if this is a targeted Gregor extraction. I'm literally never going to stop doing this, and the more you pester me to stop doing it, the more I'm going to keep doing it. So, get wrecked, get reeked, get bodied, cope, mold, sign, sink. Deal. Don Quixote. Okay, come on, something new, please. Yes.
지금 이 순간부터 날 보고 눈살을 찌푸린 자들은 모두 열애자로 간주하겠다.
G-Corp head manager Otis? I was just talking about how much I wanted an Otis. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, let's go. That's amazing. That's exactly... Oh, yeah, if we get G-Corp Gregor as well, I'll be so happy. That'll be my match made in heaven. Come on. Give me something good.
새로운 업무는 좌측에 호출이시군요.
Now, I'd like to point out this is very cool, actually. Mersol looks great here, and I have no idea what Rose Spanner Workshop is, but it's a workshop, so that's actually very interesting. But we went targeted Gregor extraction and didn't get a fucking Gregor. Why? Why are you like this? Those are two very interesting IDs. I am actually genuinely happy with them, but also, what the fuck? I'm gonna go for the paid one. We're gonna do the paid one. Come on, give me a Gregor. That's not a Gregor. No, that's a Faust. Well, that's sad. Okay, well, I guess just whatever then. I guess I just don't get what I want. Alright, fine. Let's have a look. That's the wrong button. Let's have a look at you then, shall we? G-Corp Head Manager. Order. Apply 1 protection to the ally with the lowest speed. That already seems handy. Being able to buff allies, that already seems useful. Apply 1 damage up to the ally with the lowest speed. These already seem quite good. Buffing allies is always good shit, surely. Next turn, apply 2 haste to self and allies who are adjacent to this unit on the dashboard this turn. 1 ally with the most HP randomly gains 1 attack power-up, 1 defense power-up, or 1 protection at the start of the combat phase. That combined with this, yeah, gains +1 power. So that would provide +1 power in a clash. This would provide attack power up, defense power up, or protection. Like one of those 3. I could build this like, yeah, it could be quite. If I can take the sins into consideration, the affinities, I could probably give like Lantern Dawn or the one who shall grip Sinclair. I could pick a character and basically buff the fuck out of them every combat phase. And that could be quite powerful. So what is... This is still the wrong one because I'm a fool. What is your skill 3? Inflict 5 sinking, inflicts 2 attack power down. Now, I don't know... Oh, I just noticed she has horns. Like the Kabuto horns, like their head manager that we fought before. That's pretty cool. So it seems like, you know, I'm finding it hard to tell what these are like in terms of clashing power. They look like they're pretty good and they'd be better at higher levels. But it seems like Otis is good at, or G-Corp head manager Otis is good at buffing allies and maybe one-sided attacks? Maybe she's an alright clasher, I don't know. Applying haste is nice. If you could have her next to, Sheer Association Don Quixote, you could combine their skills to perhaps get her speed high enough to get that +3 on Overbreathe. So that could be quite effective. She seems alright, I don't know. I'm not very good at reading characters that are good or not good. I've got a lot of Mersaults and I need to use him more often. And we're going to get to that in a minute, actually. On hit, inflict tremor. Inflict tremor. Oh, this is a big tremor Mersault. This is big tremor Mersault. Charge? Gain charge, inflict tremor. Gain charge, inflict tremor. Gain charge, inflict tremor. Trigger tremor burst. When triggering tremor burst, reduce tremor count by 3. Then spend all charge count to further raise stagger threshold by charge count. So if he could work with a charge team to tremor and stagger enemies really easily, I assume. In a clash, the opponent has -1 clash power if they have +5 tremor. When recovering from stagger, heal 5% of max HP. One ally with the highest speed lowers the clash power of opponents with tremor by 1. These could be good if you spec into tremor and charge, which I suppose you could. I don't know. This one seems less obviously good, but that's usually those usually end up being the ones that are really good, where it's like, no, you don't see the power here, and I'm like, yeah, I don't, because as much as I am sitting here and trying to really read them, there's a lot I just don't get, but that's interesting. There are so many. I want to try all these out, but I've got bad news, ladies and gentlemen. I've got bad news. We're about to get another Mersault. Because I've got the 400 ego shards. 400 exactly, as a matter of fact. Let's make it happen. Okay, well, my internet fucked out, but... Okay, well, the game's closing, but we will have it soon, I guess. Do we still get the nice cutscene? We don't even get the cutscene because the game fucking fucked out. I don't even get... That's very annoying. But I guess I've got it now because it's not there anymore. Can I get it to replay? That's very cool. Could we redo that bit where, no. Could we redo the bit where the big cool gacha moment, you know, the fucking dopamine hit that is getting the new thing? That's a bit underwhelming, video game, thanks. That's very annoying, whatever. So, on hit, lower user stagger threshold by 30% of damage dealt. That's very direct. That makes tremor obsolete a bit. Inflict nails, inflict bind. You are cleansed of sin. Annihilate heretics. Inflict 2 nails. Heal 50% of damage dealt. That's pretty good. When below 50% HP, remove 1 negative status effect and gain 1 fanatic, 1 attack power up, and 3 protection at the start of the combat phase. Apply 1 attack power up and 1 protection to the ally with the least HP below 50%. If the ally is from N Corp, also apply 1 fanatic. So he does a lot of support stuff. Do I have enough to uptie him? I do. We should. I want my N Corp team. Also, we should probably do the, you know, uptie cutscene. Alright. Gross Hammer, faceplate, Mersault, what do you got?
인정받기에는 아직 미력하나 귀하의 뜻이 그러하다면.
Ooh. He looks pretty fucking spooky. And this is our first Mersault uptie as well. The child was surrounded by people in thick suits of armor. Each individual carried a large nail in one hand, and in the other was a hammer so massive that it almost seemed improbable to hold with a single grip. Hear me, Gross Hammer. One of them approached the child to report. The shadows of heresy are no longer seen in this area. Yeah, obviously Mersault doesn't say much. The child, referred to as a Gross Hammer, gently exhaled. His breath trembled ever so slightly. You may return now. The child's voice is always low and aloof. His vocalizations were reflected by the mask that covers his face at all times, giving his voice a holy-sounding echo. What about you, Gross Hammer? I have a duty to see it to the end, for the one who grips has ordered it. If that is what the one who grips wishes. Clatter, clatter. All the others left the space, leaving the child alone in that corpse-littered corridor. Puff. The child removes his mask. It revealed his concealed side. A small mechanical device covers his mouth. Green tubes are eerily embedded in his skin, reminiscent of snakes. Also, his Darth Vader mouth mask is pretty funny. Right, that gadget must belong to K-Corp. Oh, so this is why Guido was so hard to kill. I thought it would have been K-Corp related, I did assume. My faith is draining. The child's voice was now far shakier. It wasn't brought about by fear or dread. It's a swelling, the struggle of something trying to break free. Oh! The tremble soon subsides, however. It seems the child did something with the device about his mouth. The liquid in its tubes drained into it in an instant. I am purity. Clatter, clatter. A hammer, loyal to the one who grips. The child wore his mask once again. Thus, he walked away, muttering to himself. So obviously the device on his mouth, the tubes and stuff, has some K-Corp stuff which heals him, but could it also potentially convey, like, it might be laced with, like, canned experiences or something to make sure that the Guido, for lack of a better term of what the rank is, gross hammer, I guess, remains loyal? Maybe it's a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe a little indoctrination effort? It's interesting, though. But now we have our full, like, NCorp team. So the question is, who do we take out? I've heard it said that Rhodia is the one you should remove. So I guess I will, but that's a shame. I like NCorp Rhodia, I do. But such is the way of things. Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen. For the rest of the episode, we're going to do a mirror dungeon, and I'm just going to chat about shit. Now, if that's not interesting to you, that's totally fine, no judgment, but you can feel free to click off and do whatever you like. All of the new stuff that we're discovering in terms of story and characters has been done. What is being done now is just padding, I guess. You know, for those of you who came here for a video, I'm here to give you a video so we can hang out and do a mirror dungeon. But if you've come to see what you want to see, you're done now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. For the rest of you, however, I've gotten a few of these, and I've just kind of been spending them wherever the fuck I can. Because surely it all just kind of improves shit over time. We're going to go with the NCorp team because that's kind of what we've been featuring the most recently. I think I'll save up for that. The chance for higher tier ego gifts in shops would be nice. So we'll just enter normal dungeon. Yes, please. There's some good bleed stuff. Oh, little and to be naughty plushie is pretty good. But rusted cutting knife would be very good. We should get that. Everything here is right and correct. Yes, very good. Okay, we're going in. So, I can beat mirror dungeon runs with this team. Well, I say that, I don't know what Mersault's like. Wait a minute. This is a 6-man team. I think we can have everyone in here. Let's find out. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, full NCorp team. Oh, mirror dungeon's a peak. Let's go. So yeah, I've been able to basically win rate gaming half this shit. Like, a lot of the time when I was doing the mirror dungeons for to prepare for that episode where I wanted to get Faust, I was doing mirror dungeons while I was like editing and stuff, for example. We don't need to focus on this too much, but I do want to keep an eye on Mersault and see what he does. But yeah, like, I've been able to beat mirror dungeons fairly reliably with this team without trying too hard. I think if I'm sat here and actually concentrating, we'll get through it pretty fucking quickly. But I am pretty pleased to have an entire... Oh, Mersault, his first clash and he fucked it up. What a loser. His HP is really high though, Jesus Christ. He's a adorable boy. Try it again, Mersault, see what you can do. But I am going to need to make a point to keep an eye on Sinclair, because I do keep forgetting to do that. And he does corrode sometimes, and it's a bit of a problem. He seems to be doing fine, though, honestly. Ooh, big stab. I'm not expecting super flashy moves from Mersault, but I'm hoping for some big hits. Maybe a bit of violence, perhaps? But I don't think we're going to get it yet. These enemies are far too weak, so, well, you know, it'll be fine. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. My boy's got rapid stabs. You're dead. You're so dead. You're fucking absolutely ruined. Not even a contest. I'm not expecting one who shall grip and one who grips levels of coolness from Mersault on this one, because it's not the rank of his ID in this specific venture, you know? He's a pretty high rank in that. He is a fucking level 3, a rank 3. But he's probably the least significant rank 3 in NCorp. At least that's the impression I get. Body him, lads. Just absolutely get him out of my face. Annihilate that heretic. Nice. Ooh. Ooh, he lifts him into the air with the day. Ooh, I like it, yes. But I never get tired of execution. Wha-bams. Beautiful, beautiful. When it comes to this build, like, you know, the Encore build and leaning in on the bleed stuff, half the time, like, when it comes to bosses and stuff, I'm doing, like, 80 damage per clash. That's not even a successful clash, just a clash will do, like, 80 damage to the guy, and they just melt. Like, it gets to the point where you don't even need to win, you just need to survive long enough for them to fall over, because you're going to get some one-sided attacks, which will accumulate bleed. And not all of your clashes are going to fail, so you're guaranteed to apply some, at the very least. Not even close. That's the Faust I want to see. Bring him. Give me that in story. That story Faust. Cool, interesting, angry, crazy story Faust. That's what I want. Oh my god. You can't use a healing bullet if you're dead, idiot. Mersol's voice acting is pretty cool. He's a little angrier, which I like. It's not something we hear very often. I think I've gotten enough use out of N-Corp though, where I think by the time this... Also, people have reassured me, and I'm really glad they did, without being too specific. They were like, Foreman, you were worried that N-Corp was going to be the coolest shit and it was all going to be downhill from here. Don't fucking worry about it. It gets better. And I'm like, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I want it to get better. Do a little refresh. Perversion. Ego is nice, but I'm kind of hoping for more bleed. More bleed? Damage up is pretty good. I want that, yeah. Yeah, we could do with more ego resources, to be fair. And the way I see it with cost, like, I appreciate a lot of my purchases aren't efficient. A lot of them aren't. But the way I see it is smoke it if you've got it. Because I'm the kind of person who ends these kinds of things with like 300 cost remaining or something, and it just goes to waste. It just remains not useful. Oh, kill him. They are now the unalive! Oh. Grip them! Beautiful. And now we'll start just accumulating ego resources, which will set us up well for later on, because you can kind of beat the final boss of these dungeons by just spamming ego attacks. Now, that's not very good for damage a lot of the time, but if you're desperately just trying to win clashes, that'll do it for you. I've also heard that uptying Heathcliff to 4 is pretty good. N-Corp Heathcliff. Apparently that's quite good, so I should look into that. But I don't want to put too many further resources into perfecting the N-Corp team, because as we continue the series, we're going to want to have different, you know, teams. We're going to look at different stuff. But when it comes to the harder content in the game, and I know there is harder content in the game, it will be useful to have some really strong teams, and this could be one of them. Oh, Sinclair, my boy, you're a little... Oh, that was quite close. I got to 44. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'd say homeward. If enemies inflict more rupture, it doesn't really matter. Rupture is only really powerful if the user is spec'd into it, and as far as I can tell, the AI kind of isn't. I say we save up our costs for a shop on the next floor and just go this way and get this stuff. Yes. Yes, good. Yes, good. We will do it this way. Oh, it's a 45. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. Oh, dear. Oh, no. I pushed it too far. Be chill, Sinclair. You were not chill. You are hitting 2 of them. You're just also hitting Roger. Well, this is the cost. It's what happened. It is what happened. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Oh boy. Ruin, devastation, ruin, devastation, ruin, devastation. Oh boy. Oh, the music in Canto 2 is such a banger. Probably the... Overall, in terms of general hype, probably the most hype soundtrack of all 3 Cantos, but I have to say I am very keen on Canto 3's because it really reinforced the Darkest Dungeon feelings. The vibe. really brought it. So Canto 3 has actually left me in an interesting position in regards to the rest of the game because I just don't know what to expect anymore. Like Canto 1 was a depressing death march. Canto 2 was a D&D campaign and an absurd one at that. And Canto 3 was like genocide and body horror and fighting God at the end of an RPG. So I truly have no idea what to expect. I don't even know what to expect from Hell's Chicken. That title tells me nothing other than chicken is involved. I don't know nothing. It could be anything, literally. That's interesting though. I'm enjoying not really knowing what to expect. It's kind of the feeling I had with Ruiner. You just didn't know what to expect from each cutscene in Ruiner. Every faction was different and weird, and you learned something new every single time. And then the fights themselves, you didn't know what kind of powers they were going to have, like, you know, passives and abilities and stuff, key pages, what have you. Ooh, phlebotomy, very nice. Yeah, and there's kind of a feeling of that here. Now, the combat is a little less interesting in this game than Ruiner. I don't think that's unfair to say. Ruiner was a lot more involved, but there's still a lot to enjoy here in that respect, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Annihilate the heretic! Annihilate him! Yes! I could have done with just, I think Annihilate Heretics just needed one more hit on it. Not for balance reasons, but for coolness reasons. Where maybe he punches them, just like, you know, he's got them in the air on the nail, and then he just fucking decks them. That would have made it like, oh, cool, to, oh, sick, you know? Like, it would have been the difference. Now, would it be good for balance? No, because adding an entire extra attack really changes the balance of a move and its effectiveness, but for presentation, I think it could have done with it. Just a little something more. His moveset is a little underwhelming, honestly. I think it's going to get interesting when we get to the bosses, especially since if I gave it all that big business and big talk at the start of this, and then we get absolutely bodied, like by the bosses, I barely survived them or whatever, and then I'm going to look very silly, but what else is new? A lone signpost stands atop a snowy mountain. A closer inspection revealed that it was, in fact, not a signpost, yet it functions as a signpost. Stiff corpses point to various directions with their frozen arms. What awaits at the end of the paths these fingers point to? North to where the burst open arm points. Yeah, I like it. At the end of the path is an ashen village burned to the ground. Most buildings are in ruins as though this village had once been an epicenter of a great explosion. Snowstorm carries with it a burnt scent. A cabin stands out amidst this ashen ruin buried under ash and snow. What happened here? We're gonna investigate. You find a boiling pot inside the cabin. There's probably a person in it. Many must have perished in the cold, having failed to find this cabin. Cost 50 gained. Okay, that's alright. A bit underwhelming. I would have liked some kind of amazing ego item, I suppose, but it's pretty cool, I guess. I like getting more cost. It's good for buying things, but it's a bit boring. I don't like boring. Entertain me, smash these people. Yeah, they're not doing well already. And they will continue that way. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Yep, he's dead, Jim. Jim, he's dead. He's gone. He is an ex-person. He is deceased. He has ceased to be. He has shuffled off this mortal coil. He is gone. Sinclair, you're getting too happy. I don't like it. We need you to be self-destructive and miserable. We can do something about that. That is pretty cool, must be said. That is a pretty cool ego attack. Very nice, very nice. The full N-Corp team does make me quite happy, I have to say. Finally getting there. Finally having all of my little buddies to play with. Finally bringing fire and blood to the heretics. It's what I want. It's what I've always wanted. Oh, of course, yeah, fucking Ebony Queen's apple. Oh, this will be tricky. I will take it seriously. I will take it seriously. I'm using ego with Sinclair so he can get his SP down, because that's what we want. The gripping, yes, because that'll provide gaze, which is very nice. You two are too slow for the... Oh, I see. We're going to have to make some of this work. So 3 plus 4 versus 4 plus 3. I mean, it's basically the same. Is Root Spike. Actually, if we were to use La Sangre de Sancho and get the bleed going, we could do a lot of damage. Yeah, I do think so. And then just do a bunch of bleed. And then inflict nails and bind. I didn't notice that whistle was happening. That's unfortunate. Probably should have overclocked it then in that respect to get the SP down a little further, but it's fine. That was some good damage. Goddamn. How do you feel, stupid? That's it. Get the bleed up. And the gripping and such. I love the gripping. The paralyze is helpful as well, actually, come to think of it. You flipped tails. Why did you flip tails? You disappointed me for the last time. Blap, 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 blue. 12 damage, wow. Oh boy, how could they ever survive such an attack? Hey, broke apart already, that's a good sign. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, well, gave him something to think about. Fragile. 80% damage this turn. Oh my god. Well, they're gonna die. Self-destructive purge, you know it. Get that because the Clash win for Fnatic would be fantastic. Yeah, gain more SP, not that you need it, but the 2+ coin drop next turn would be very nice as well, I do think. What about Drive? Hopeless. Cackle would be dominating. Is there any Clash win? Oh yeah, there is. Although I don't think abnormalities really work with SP, but you know what? It's fine. Inflict the nails. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. Ooh. She's already at half health. Someone call an ambulance. Wabams. It's just not close. It's not going to be close. Oh, 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 no, oh. Oh, I guess you didn't have a good handle on the situation. Get it? 'Cause she's the one who grips. Yeah, heart torn into 1,000 pieces. We've all seen it a million fucking times. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, because it was a guaranteed success. Good job, Mersol. For the one who grips it ordered me to succeed. Good stuff. Well, she's fucked. You can do it, Sinclair. I believe in you. Execution. It does inflict nails. You are cleansed of sin. Congratulations. Oh, I'm so happy for you. More nails. More bleed. And infirm retribution. And just fuck them up. Oh. Yes. Using Purify last turn helped a lot. Would this made this kill? Nah, it won't kill. It got pretty close, but it didn't kill. Cleanse them. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, he punches the nail into them. Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that before. Right, that's pretty hype. It's no one who grips, but it's pretty hype. Credit where credit's due. Come on, come on. Skills deal plus 10% damage to staggered enemies. If the skill's affinity was Sloth, deal 20% damage instead. None of these are amazing. We'll go Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I know you can refuse if it's not very useful and you don't want to get the mounting trials, but this is more interesting, arguably. There's still probably someone screaming like, why does he keep taking the thing? Why doesn't he read? And I'm like, I do read. I don't vocalize every single bit of text I see on the screen. I do apologize for that, but otherwise, you know, I'd have had to have read all that just popped up off of those guys and I would have missed it. And every time I moused over one, I'd have to say carve 43 attack level, 43 defense level, skill effects, keywords, bean hating, ting tanger, 200%, 1330. I'm not doing it, okay? 56 on a moral enactment. It's fucking absurd. Cleanse them, do it. This is actually pretty good. The stab and a punch. I like a good punch. I do. You know, it took me the longest time to really acknowledge the fact that N-Corp Inquisitors get tougher when their sanity gets lower. So, like, when you're beating N-Corp Inquisitors in, you know, in the Cantos and stuff, or here, I guess, as well, they would actually be getting more and more dangerous. That never really... Like, I knew what a negative coins were. Like, I knew, but that just never really occurred to me. I never really connected the dots on that. It didn't matter because we bodied them so hard, but... Sorry, Sinclair, I'm gonna need you to, Yeah, I'm gonna need you to put in a little extra sauce this time. You're getting too chipper, you're getting too happy, and we can't be having that. It affects your combat capabilities. You know, that's something, right? This is a little bit of a deep topic, but I think it's something worth talking about. That's something that has concerned me in the past. When I was in a less happy place, I did wonder to myself sometimes, like, do I even want to get better? Because if I got better, if I was happier, would that not cause me to become less funny? Would that take away what I am, what makes me funny and or interesting to some people? Would that ruin it? Now, I don't know whether or not that's true. I'm happier now. Maybe I'm less funny than I used to be. It's hard to say. But I would honestly say that such a thing is not worth it. It does not fucking matter how funny you might be if you're in a worse place. That's no reason to stay there. Absolutely not. Fuck that. I'd rather be middlingly successful but happy rather than majorly successful but sad. Fucking hell. Oh, grimy iron steak, let's go! Big murder will occur soon and now. Dispenser. Stone tomb? Voice potency from skill effects. Well, none of our skills apply that, so whatever. Rupture, no. Sinking with less than 0 SP, that's not useful. We don't really need that, because normal encounters with, like, normal people are not what we struggle with. Thorny path. Sinking, melted eyeball, offense level down and defense level down next time against enemies affected by tremor burst. We can use that actually. So we do a bit of tremor burst. And curriculum vitae, useless. Oh, can I get coerced judgment to self-destructive purge? Let's fucking go. Yes, please. Yes, please. Is that a bad idea? Probably. Do I care? What do you think? Actually look inside yourself right now and ask yourself that question. And come back to me with the answer on my desk tomorrow morning by 7 AM, or you're fired. If you actually do that, please tell me what you're referring to, because I will have probably forgotten. I say a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of people mentioned that where we'd heard of the mark before Demian was from Sonya, who mentioned that Rhodia didn't have the mark, but a couple people in the party did, and he also mentioned that the child would come to visit us soon, which was presumably Demian. So that's all leading somewhere. Don't know where. Well, not even slightly, but that's all a thing. That's about all I've got on it. I'm not particularly keen on big supernatural mystical elements coming in where it's like, there's some kind of prophet and or magic person who comes in and is a wrench in the plans or whatever. I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong, if it's done well, then great. No complaints, but as a trope, I'm not huge on it. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. The only question I have for Demian remains, who are you? I still don't know. Don't understand him even slightly. Apparently in the novel he was trying to bang Sinclair's mum, which, sure. Before or after the robot head? Probably after, I assume. Can I power this up? 2 bleed potency, 1 bleed count. That's something. It's not amazing, but it's something. And we leave. Because we're healing in basically every encounter, or at the start of every encounter anyway, so we don't really need to rest. We don't need to raise SP, because it's all at max, and we don't want Sinclair's to go up anyway. I guess I'm still confused as to how Sinclair ever became a combatant. I don't doubt his strength. Well, I'm not doubting his ability to fight. He can definitely fight. But my question is, where the fuck did it come from? Because nothing about his upbringing ever implied any form of combat training or efficacy or even a willingness to fight. Like, why a halberd of all things? Not once again, not complaining, and I don't doubt his skill with it, just where did it come from? I mean, you know, Rhodia was like a backstreets dweller. That does imply a certain level of necessity for self-defense, right? Just so you don't get killed or something. Heathcliff speaks for itself. Gregor was in the military. Otis was in the military. Well, you know, Gregor was in a corporation, but that is the military in this world. Same for Heathcliff. Don Quixote idolizes fixers and wants to become one, so obviously learns to fight. I don't know about Faust, but I'm sure there's something there. Maybe there are other characters who have confusing backstories in regards to how the fuck they can ever fight reasonably well, but Sinclair seems the most pressing because he's also the youngest, and he's also a bit meek. Once again, can't stress it enough, not complaining and not criticizing him specifically. I'm just confused. It's extra confusing because he's one of my most powerful sinners, and I'm like, where did that come from? Also, oh my god, why did Project Moon rip off Dragon Ball Z? Sinclair is basically Gohan. That won't go down well. Everyone will be like, no, Foreman, Sinclair's a reference to the character in the book where he came from, and I'm like, yeah, but he's also basically Gohan. He is. Oh, server error. That's what I get for being a shit. Lithograph. Nice. More healing, or lithograph. I don't know how it's pronounced, I don't care. Are we actually gonna get a tough boss this time? Tough boss or shit boss? Shit boss. Okay. Watch me eat those words. Live. Oh yeah, because Sinclair's sanity is way too high. Don't worry, we can fix that. Yeah, we can fix that. Yeah, it's okay, we can fix that. Good shit, go for it. Fuck him up, Sinclair. This won't even do that much damage, but I don't care. Why'd you roll heads? You failed me. That was decent damage. Yeah, proof. Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. That's pretty good. Now bleed him. How do you bleed a giant wooden thing? I don't know, but we're doing it. 16 damage. Wow. How will he ever survive such a maneuver? Truly. We don't stand a chance. Hit him with the goop. Very nice. That was actually a lot of damage. Very nice. Very nice. Good stuff. And bind, so he'll be slow as well. So we can work off that. And he's about to take a lot of damage because he's weak to fucking blunt. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Quite nice. He suffered a lot of debuffs. Now we need to hit him with Tremor Burst. Self-destructive Purge. See if you can get that because the Fanatic will be helpful. The Gripping. The Gripping. Purify. Good. Drive. Enactment. And fucking do him in, lads. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. No. Yes. Good enough. A lot of damage done. Bad day for him, good time. And now Rhodia has fucking Fanatics. That's even better as well. And then the Gripping for the gaze, and then more damage. Good shit, good shit. You love to see it. You love to... Oh! Oh! It's okay, he did it. Everything's fine. I was just building a little tension, a little drama, you know. We gotta keep it interesting. That was... Why are you rolling tails when you have 35 SP? What is your excuse? Wooden dollars stop moving. What could be going on? What perchance is happening? Oh yeah, that's a block attack. Okay. Accumulating curse. If I'm right... Oh no, that's easily clashed apparently. Okay, I'll take it. Music on this stage is pretty fucking high, but let's be real. You do have Tremor, don't you? Yes. You've lost offense. Alright, that's probably why you're sucking. So, oh yeah, god, this turn's gonna suck for him. Okay. Enactment again, because we want those debuffs. Inflict the nails. Yep. Is Sinclair... Where is Sinclair? He's not Fanatic, which is sad, but oh well. Gain Fanatic, and then Roger is Fanatic, so Ironclad Retribution, and absolutely dust him. He is not rolling very high. Oh! The upset. I don't believe it. God is my witness, he's broken him in half. Big punch. Oh, you know it. He might stagger this turn. He may well stagger this turn.
뭐가 chancho하는 뿐이다. 침묵하라.
This will hurt. Yes, this will hurt a lot. Oh boy. 43. Wundol stopped in place. It was like, you want some talismans? And we're like, no, you want some talismans. Although this might actually be quite tricky. You'd have to succeed at every single one. So would you. So would you. Well, no, but it's weird. Go on, Faust. You got it. There we go. Faust gathered them and brought them to him. Good stuff. No one will cry. Faust gains haste.
당연하지.
Naturally. Oh, he in big trouble now. Yeah, he is. Struggling. Go fanatical judgment on that. I'm sure it'll work out, or it won't. And it'd be pretty funny if it didn't, so I think that's fine. Everyone else, go in on that. Yep, just go in on him. More nails. Remind me, what does nails actually do? Gain 1 bleed and increase bleed count by 5. Oh, nice, yeah. No, that's very good. More nails. And more bleed. On the occasions where he does get to clash, he does take some damage. Although not much at the moment, let's be honest. Come on. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. He's still taking a lot of damage, though. Oh boy. Fuck him up. Just fuck him up. Just get him out of my sight. He's done. He's done for. Yeah, he's gone. God damn. So there is one boss in these mirror dungeons that I really do genuinely struggle with. And it's that fox. It's that fox with that fucking umbrella. Or umbrellas. There are many. But, yeah. That one's a bit of a problem. I would get special contracts, but I don't want enemies gaining additional slot weight because that's awkward. Ah, fuck it. What's life without a bit of risk? I will regret that. I will regret that. I will regret that. We're on the final floor. This is going a lot quicker than the first time I did this. Fucking hell. Yeah, oh my god, holy shit. 130 in one hit, just on the first hit. Imagine if he'd survived that. The amount of damage that would have come next. So I definitely think it was NCorp that made me excited, the most excited, as it were, to see more of what the game had to offer in terms of the actual gameplay itself, in terms of combat abilities and party loadouts and stuff like that. Because it showed me, I kind of knew this to be true, but it confirmed for me, that there is a lot to play with. There is stuff you can do, and it can get quite devastating. And like people have said, NCorp is not the strongest, most best example. There are better ones, and I'm fucking excited. Apparently Warp Corp Ryoshu is amazing. Look at that poor man. Let's just look at all this. Oh. I'm sorry, buddy. He never stood a chance. Ah, it's this guy. The cavern is full of smells, good and bad. Been a while since I had visitors. I ought to give you a right treat. Plumb out of luck for eatery, I've already had all the food. Straight as you can see, this glass of fairy wine is all I have. Would you care for a drink? A thick, slimy hand makes its offer. I could go for a nice glass of red, why not? The glass smells awful. It stinks like a moldy shoe. It's sprayed with some flowery air freshener. The limbs of fairies float in the liquid. Help yourself. Well... let one person drink it all. You had the thirstiest one drink it all. It apparently tastes pretty good, but they kept heaving. There's an odd bothering feeling in their throat. They also complained that the bits of fairy flesh are bitter. Their thirst was quenched, but it might have only been replaced with another problem. Friendly units with the least HP lost 10 SP. Friendly units with the least HP healed for 40 HP. Oh, it was real. Oh, okay, well, Otis, you're not in combat anyway, so what does it matter? Everything's fine. Go to the dispensary and see what we can get. Milepost of survival. We're moving to the next floor. Lame. Lame. fixed damage is helpful. Inflicts 1 power down to enemies with 33% or less HP. That is helpful. I know 3 damage is nothing, especially against bosses, but guaranteed damage is quite nice. Red order. Sinking. Burn. I don't have enough. Nah. Okay. I know I didn't do that very well, I just don't care. It's fine. We're already quite strong. Ah, this. I know what to do with this. Pull out the intravenous line. Intravenous line? I don't know, just pull it. Whatever, who cares? Mersault, do it. You fucking fool! The intravenous lines were too intricately intertwined to pull out. While digging through you felt a sting. You looked down to find the needles poking into the back of your hand. You quickly pulled it out, but you felt dizzy for some reason. Took 20 HP damage. It was the fault of your inability, you fool. Kindly remove them for me, would you? Yes. I'm looking forward to trying out a hard mirror dungeon. I'm also dreading it because I bet it'll kick my teeth in, but I'm also looking forward to it. It'll be interesting. I hope there are more rewards. If there are bigger rewards, then it'll definitely be worth it. Murder this man for me! Oh, you did. Oh, he's gone. Oh, goddamn. Number of options when choosing an ego gift to get. How fucking useful at the end of the dungeon. Fuck you. Goddamn. Please don't be the fox. Please don't be the fox. I don't want to have to concentrate that much. Okay. I can deal with you. That's fine. The gripping will be a good start. And self-destructive purge would be nice. Yeah, I dig that. Hit him with the bleed. Can anyone clash that successfully? Neutral. And that's unopposed. I could go Chains of Others, but he'd probably need to, what's the word? What am I thinking? What are the words? He would need to go unopposed next turn, because otherwise it might get a bit spooky. Nails? Nails. Would Tremor be inflicted by the time it gets to Don Quixote? No, so just inflict nails then, I guess. That'll be fine. You can't defeat the gripping, it's impossible. It's truly impossible. And you're also weak to piercing attacks, so that sucks for you. It really does. Oh, this will suck for you. He's pretty resistant to blunt attacks, but it's fine. Do the thing, we haven't seen this in quite a while. Ooh. Lovely. Some tremor has been inflicted, that's quite nice. His attack power is severely lowered, but so is Mersault's. So, like we said before, he'll need to go one-sided. I think he can do that. Do that. Ironclad, do you have... I don't think you have that, do you? Where are you? No, you don't have it. Just inflict more bleed then, perhaps? You're dominating on those, so go for it. Purify? Yes. Yes, good. Yes, and then do that. And then, Oh, enactment. He'll have some tremor. We only need to activate the effect of Tremor Burst to get what we want out of it, so that works out. And then you can annihilate heretics, and that works too. Lovely. Go for it. Come on, Sinky. Yes, there we go. It still doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is practically guaranteed clash wins, and that in of itself is extremely valuable. More bleed. Bonk him. Yeah. I don't think we got much to worry about. I think we'll be alright. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Bonk. Now your stats will be shit next turn. Nice. He summoned the drink. Who's in the drink? His defense level, oh my god, it's down so far. Jesus Christ. And he's got paralyzed and plus coin drop. Oh, wow. Amoral enactment on that one. May as well keep using Purify because it just makes him shit. You can win with that, that'd be amazing. You go for that, and then see if you can take out the wine barrel, because we just don't want it to keep existing. And then you. Has he still got tremor? Not really. Are we inflicting tremor? Nope. You should probably inflict tremor then. Oh, we've got it. Oh, it's just fine. Beat the fuck out of him if you would. Yes, very good. Oh, a lot of burning there. Oh, more plus coin drop. Oh, it just keeps happening to you, doesn't it? Oh, it's so sad. And by sad, I mean it's very funny, actually. I like it a lot. Oh, your skills suck. Oh no, what a loser you are. Oh dear. There we go. And then more nails, because it's funny. Oh, you don't appear to have a lot of attacks this turn. Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. Clash win, get fanatic. Coerce judgment. Enact. Get the tremor burst. Yep, that is a thing. Get it going. And fuck it, lower his stagger threshold. If we could stagger him, that'd be amazing. Ooh. Oh, what are you doing, Heathcliff? What the fuck do you call that? What are you rolling tails for, you loser? A 45 SP. Shameful display. Shameful display. That's better. Shameful display. Shameful displays. What are these? What do you call those? Disgusting. You do have Fanatic. Now would be the time to do that. But do it as a free hit. You've got that. So I'll have this has Clash Power +5 if they're not tipsy. Mersault, I think I'd like you to debuff him again if you could. It's a bit of a risk, but give it a go. Take care of that, and then execution? No, well, Magical Judgment? Nope. This? Nope. Because I'll have this as well. Okay, Don, bleed him. It might work, it might not. I don't know, we'll see. And then just cackle. Why not? Of course, I guess if you stagger him, that would work too. Oh. 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 Downer. Oh, double downer. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, he's broken him in half. Nice, broke apart, very good. Oh, triple downer. Oh, big sad. He's got a lot of bleed though. Every clash is going to hurt him quite a lot. And now he's got that thing. Can you clash win? Not really. So then don't worry about it. Just get rid of that. We don't need to worry too much, I don't think, because he's going to take so much damage from the bleed, which we're going to want to keep going, by the way. You're not fast enough to clash, so don't worry about it. Just bleed him. Yeah, nails and bleed. Nails and bleed. Make it happen. Sorted. Dealt with. Oh, no. Oh, no. Gross. Damn. Hey, you got there. You got there in the end. Just throw him a quick punch. It's good stuff. That's better. That's much better. That's as much damage as you can do against someone who is resistant to your attacks. It was still pretty fucking good. A lot of bleed damage was done. I think that'll help us out quite a bit. I'm not particularly concerned. Get that one. And let's do the gripping. Yes, the gripping. Are we too slow to contest those attacks? That's very annoying. That's going to Sinclair. Alright, Sinclair will have to deal with that then. That's going to Faust. Alright, Faust will have to deal with that then. And that's going to Mersault, so Mersault will have to deal with that. It's neutral, do what you can. Don Quixote, I think it's time for enactment again, because he's getting a little too uppity with being strong and such, and I don't like it, so make it stop. I don't like the way he's doing things and making things happen, it bothers me. That doesn't really surprise me, honestly. Go on, you can do it. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. Yeah, we're gonna be just fine. I'm really glad it wasn't that wolf, because I genuinely struggle with that fox. I genuinely struggle with it even when I'm concentrating. Like, that is a tough fight. For some reason, I'm sure many of you find it incredibly easy, but I do struggle. I do struggle. Immoral enactment, that'd be nice. Zealous purge, see if you can get it. And then you'll probably dodge the rest of these attacks, but try it anyway, see what you can do. Nice. Big hits, big hits. Less good, that's better. Nice. Ah, lovely. With the gripping and such. I think that was a stagger. I think he might die this turn. Yep, off he goes. What a fool. So yeah, this dungeon's pretty easy with N-Corp. Well, you know, medium mirror dungeon, which I imagine, or normal, which I imagine most of you don't even do anymore, is very easy with N-Corp. 36% of damage contributed in a squad of 6 people. That's a third of the damage in a squad of 6 people. That's pretty fucking good. Good stuff, good stuff. Claim rewards, yes please. I would certainly like to use that, I would. 250 lunacy. Battle Pass level 113. Not bad. We're doing alright, we're getting there. I'm certainly gonna get all of the rewards this season. I don't think that's under any doubt.
본인은 그다지 배가 고프진 않지만 이 조그만 이빨 친구들이 계속해서 들썩거리고 있군.
Ooh, what's that? Obtained at Season 3 Free Pass level 110. Yeah, but what is it? I think it's just a manager card thing. Boring. Boring. I'll do my thread and XP excavations. These are hard words. I'll do those off camera. They are not remotely interesting. We both know this. Good, good, good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I've just got to do those as well. It won't take a moment. All the seasonals are done. Lovely. All right, well, that concludes the tier list and mirror dungeon video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I am looking forward to checking out Hell's Chicken. Don't know what the fuck it's all about. Don't even know what it means. Don't even know what it's referring to. Apparently, it's still in the same... It's still in K-Corp district, so K-Nest, so... presumably it takes place after Canto 3, and I don't know why we'd be hanging about, but I guess we will be. Maybe we wanted to go get more chicken. Maybe that's it, and they all just barreled out of the bus to get more chicken, and then hilarity ensues. I don't fucking know. All I know is that we're going to see it next time. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to Harik J, Draft, Dresso, Sion Distance, LOL, Final Legend, Etherbin, Linky, Xeon Cedar, Bimbawar, Majoko Maimoon, Alkir, Honeydew Corporation, Sweet Baby Red, Lord Scarlington, Jessica Kitty, Plutonium Pie, Dreamer Ghost, Leper Lullaby, K-Bub, Magic Cow, The Frostbite, Monsoon, Warmaster Oku, SCP-106A, Namad, and KennyT800 for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. This was nice. It was a little refreshing. It's a little more chill than Limbus is normally, because usually we're dealing with the story, which is very cool, very fun, and very enjoyable, but there's a lot going on there. This was a bit more laid back. We could just kind of talk about stuff in regards to the game itself, and I don't know, just generally enjoy the game as is. I am very much looking forward to continuing the story, though, don't get it twisted. I don't really want to do too many mirror dungeon things. If I do end up doing a tier list for after Hell's Chicken, and I have no idea if I will, because I don't know if enough will happen to warrant it, but if I do, I probably won't do a mirror dungeon on that occasion, because then these would be getting a bit too frequent, and I think it'd be a bit dull. Let me know what you think, of course. I want to know what you guys think. It helps me make my decisions. But I digress and I'm rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Whatever happens next time, Hell's Chicken. I don't know what the fuck it means, but I hope I see you there. Doodles. Goodbye.